Hello everybody, welcome to Betway's Weighted to Win. We're on to the action now for our 9-race program, and in particular we're starting up with the second race. We want to get the bipods going as well, so I can tell you on Friday that number 8, Woman of Power, is the favourite, is priced up at 12 to 10 favourite, and then you have got 7 to 2 and better about the others. The second race on the card for the Turpentine race meeting. For those of you who don't know, it's the Betway Total Rewards Club maiden class field, and it's over 1,200 metres. Mr. Marie's been with me all the while, and he's of course been in good form, particularly with bipods and all that sort of stuff, which is good to know. Daryl, keep up the good form. I know it's not easy to study every single day, 24/7, You must be the most informed student when it comes to studying.
No, I don't know about that.
Yes.
But we've got good news, Clyde.
Question
we've got
in
good
my
news.
Mind. Have we?
Yes, Charles Pretorius
sent
us the comments from Mark de Kock, obviously sponsored by Betway, and those comments are available on the Betway Insider blog from 12 p.m. on race days, on Fridays. We start off with Woman of Power, and apparently she hasn't had a gallop. Excuse me, Clyde. But she's done a lot of work on the sand and the treadmill. She appears to have overcome her problems, and with a bit of luck, she'll go close to winning.
Excellent. Are you bankering that in the bipod, or what you doing?
Listen, Clyde, my selections were done before these comments came through. I didn't bank her. I just backed her up because she was returning from a rest. I was unsure of her well-being.
Okay.
But now that we've got the green light from the yard, I think you can go ahead and bank her because the form line is certainly holding up. Now listen to this form line, Clyde. You love form lines, am I right?
Yes.
Accumulator came out and won the Grade 2 Debutante.
Yeah.
Third in that race has won indirectly. Fourth in that race was a filly called Ivy League.
Yes.
Excuse me,
Warren Burtis says that's a good horse, Ivy League.
Won 3 to date, you know that?
Yeah.
And further down in that lineup was a horse called Mika's Bomb.
Yeah, won again.
She's won twice. So on form, it looks like she certainly is the right one. I backed up with number 1, Clyde, just because she's got the fitness on her side. She's got the draw. Yeah. Please note, Sianda is now claiming 1.5.
I see. Well done to him.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
And the stable's firing. So 8 from 1, Clyde.
All right. Well, let's put the bipods up, guys, if we can. We heard there from Daryl. Mike de Kock does fancy his horse here, so make a note of that. 1 and 8, by 1 and 6, by 1 and 3, by 1 and 5, by banker 5, and then 1, 5, and 6. That's a 48 Rand bipod. The Betway Aviator maiden plate over 1,700 metres. This is the start of the place Accumulator. On Friday, let me give you an idea as to what the story is here. Top of the boards, number 6, Champagne Cocktail at 5 to 2. The sister to Sparkling Water debuts here for Michael de Kock stable. Daryl will give us an update on what Mike de Kock has said about this horse, so you have some sort of idea. One Heart Peaks is the second choice, and that is currently priced up at 28 to 10. And the third choice on Friday, number 7, Crystal Maiden at 3 to 1. It's 9 to 2 and better about the others. So, Daryl, first time at the races. It's over 1,700 metres. You don't often see them win first time out over 1,700 metres, but beautifully bred and exciting to watch.
Yeah. Upbeat about this filly, Clyde. The stable's very upbeat. You know, they're saying they're very happy with her work back at home. She hasn't been on the grass, but she's done most of her work on the sand and the treadmill. If she's not too green, she'll be all over them in the latter stages. So he has a filly bred in the purple, fancy to go well on debut. The only thing is, will she be green, Clyde? Because we know that she's got the ability based on those comments. So inside track, always a concern. Because if they are green, if they are green, they could get undone on this on this track. Yeah. But yes, based on those comments, she's certainly the stable preference and choice.
Good to know she's fancied. Okay.
Yes, she's fancied strongly. Clyde, like I said, I did my selections before knowing these comments. So I went 1 and 6 over here. I've just backed up with Heart's Peak or Heart Peaks, let me put it that way. Last time out you were staying on, in that race she beat a filly called Village Green, right?
Yes.
Who's come out and won. The 4th place filly came out and ran 2nd, Marka Macaroon. Excuse me, Clyde. And obviously she holds out a dimension on that race. And on a line through Village Green, she should hold number 7, Crystal Maiden, who was beaten by Village Green. So 1 and 6, Clyde.
Okay, that makes sense. All ties up, I guess, and a lot of it depends on this first-timer Champagne Cocktail. She could cruise in, or she may just be green and perhaps in need of it, just that one run. Let's see how things go. The point of it is that the stable do fancy her. Here we go. Place Accumulator 1 and 6 by 1 and 3 by 1 and 5. We banker 5 later on. Then 1, 5, 6. Then banker 8. And then 1 and 8. We'll leave that up for you so you can just take it down. Otherwise, use your phone. It's so much easier just to scan that code. Betway Back the Box Maiden Plate. It's over 1,700 meters, and through the Betway Insider's blog, which is available to the public on a Saturday, I think it is, eh? Friday at 12 o'clock, so you can get all that information. Charles has sent us the info around this horse in Valero, and basically Mike de Kock is saying, in a good space, a little bit of luck in running, is happy with the way the horse is doing right now, so in Valero, a serious winning claim. What does the market think about this race? The opening leg of the pick 6, they've got number 2, House of Romanov, who's top of the boards here at 15-4. Number 8 on the card is in their Birthright, who's priced up at 15-4. The 1 Royal Edition is 4-1, and you can get 4-1 about this horse in Valero.
Yeah, Clyde, I actually give him a strong winning chance. You know, last time he hit the front a long way from home, and he was just collared late by a horse who could go on with things. Fushimi Inari.
Yes.
So he's super fit. Penultimate start on the inside track, Clyde. He was actually doing his best work late. Had to be taken up in the latter stages. Would have finished about half a length closer. So that was a decent effort against winners. One for the shortlist, certainly. Number 1, there's a horse that's making steady improvements and progress in each and every start. I think he's crying out for the extra, being by Flower Alley. He gives me that impression that he's looking for further. So he gets the extra distance. We saw a work rider horse, a horse won a work rider event from that farm line on Thursday out at the Val, and that was Crepuscolo. Now, I don't know if you heard that interview. It was great. You didn't hear it? No. You have to go on to YouTube and search for racing and listen to that interview.
Who was that from? Fabian?
Sapiso.
Who?
No, it's Sapiso.
Oh, Sapiso, okay.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But, you know, the connections are very upbeat with Crepuscolo going forward. So
yep.
I think 1 and 3 should suffice in this leg of the PA and the bipot, but I went more with regards to the pick 6. Excuse me, Clyde, sure. This horse, number 8, I don't know if you remember, Alec Laird took 3 runners to Scottsville a few weeks ago, and 2 of them were unfortunate in that the truck broke down and they didn't get to the track in time. Number 8 was one of them.
Okay.
Birthright.
That form's not too bad. I mean, there was a fairly strong field. Jerusalem Rain, Hawkpearl, Zoom Bomber. They were good horses.
I think he's got the strongest form line, but he has been rested 5.5 months. I know he was meant to run 3 weeks ago, but 5.5 months, over 1,700. I'm not too sure how he's going to go. Let's see how he goes, Clyde.
Okay.
I think in time to come, he could certainly be the best horse coming out of this race. But I think currently as it stands, 3 from 1 for me, Clyde.
Okay. Valero ahead of Royal Edition, 3-1. Pick 6s, we've got one worked out for you. And those who enjoy their pick 6s, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, and 10. By 1 and 5, by 5, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, by 8, by 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8. That's Daryl Marie's pick 6. So well done to the Weighted to Win team, winning the competition, the Durbanville competition that Hollywood Bets put up. Well done. I'm happy to hear about that. Under the name Betway Weighted to Win.
That's right.
You, Darren Burrows, took a lot of winners. Well done.
Well, we've got our head in front for now, Clyde. There's a long way to go.
Doesn't matter. You won the opener. It's always the first one and the last one you remember the most. Okay, that's the pick 6. Welcome back. The comments from Mike de Kock. Simple runs in race 5. She's fit and well and will be competitive. And in as far as Who's the other one? Sharapova. She's in a good space. She's well and will be competitive too. So they're both quite well. He's quite confident about both. They've got serious winning claims, both of them. So this is the Betway Boost. It's a plated race, Daryl, over 1450 meters. Before I ask you who's the best in this plated horse field, let me give you an idea as to how they're betting on the Friday. Sharapova's top of the boards at 19. Is it 19 to 10? 18 to 10? Second choice is number 3, Runaway Bomb. Number 9, I beg your pardon. Runaway Bomb at 3 to 1. That's where the 3 comes in. 1 Cape Lights is 9 to 2. And number 8, Dakota Cat, is priced up at 6 to 1. What price is Simple, who is number 3 on the card, is priced up at 12 to 1. So there might be a bit of value about that horse. I think they tried to change tactics with last time.
That's
Didn't
right.
Go to the front, yeah. All right, so it's a plated. Who's the best horse in?
The best horse and the filly that represents a lot of value is strictly because she's best weighted is Cape Lights. You said 9 to 2.
Yeah.
I think that's a very attractive price, Clyde.
Yes.
She's a net 89 ahead of Trentino, who's a net 86. So she's 3 pounds or 1.5 kgs best in. Third best in is Simple, a pound ahead of Sharapova. Now Sharapova currently is 6 pounds out with Cape Lights, the best weighted. That's 3 kilograms. Sharapova has had 2 comeback efforts, Clyde. I think people expected more from her last time out, but I think they were a bit in trouble 100 meters into that race. She came out fresh and running, no cover. She was pulling in the early stages. So I actually tipped Rattle Bag on that occasion, and I was smiling 100 meters into the race. I thought Sharapova's going to have to lift her hooves, and she just found one too good for on that occasion. You can hear from the comments from the stables, she's in a good space. She's expected to go very well. Having her peak run, definitely one for the shortlist. But I think the value is the best weights at Cape Lights. We saw this combination team up Clyde and have a great win with Quantum Theory. Now Samanga gets the opportunity on her, and I like the fact that she's actually coming back in trip. I want to see her just be given a chance. I know she's normally on the speed or on the pace, but she has a filly that I think she is better than her latest efforts. And on her previous form, she's got a strong winning chance of, strictly on ratings, she's the filly to beat. So I'm going to go with the ratings here, Clyde. I'm going 1 from 5. I'm not looking past the 2 of them.
Interesting that Moosey's on Runaway Bomb.
Yeah, I think
not on Cape Lights, eh?
Yeah, I actually think Moosey and Mr. Sage are having a quiet spell at the moment. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. See, it's good to have that inside information. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known.
They're taking a break, I'm
They've broken up for a little while.
But you never know, Clyde. We've seen trainers say they'll never use a jockey, and
okay, well,
a few
all right.
a few months or years later, they're stable jockey. So
interesting.
It happens
Thank you.
like that.
Oh, thank you for that. Let's take a look at jackpots then. Now we know what's going on and behind the scenes. First leg 1 and 5 by Banker 5, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, by Banker 8. So it's a most affordable jackpot. You remember you can always add to that. Daryl's just worked out the skeleton of it, and then you can add whatever else you like. It's a 14 Rand pot. Betway, we pay your tax on horse racing wins. This is another plated race. I'll ask Daryl Marie to break it down for us as to who's the best in and first, second, third choices on ratings. It's over 1450 meters. The market has got number 5, Tail of the Comet. I know Daryl's bankered that in his jackpot because we've just seen it. It's 16 to 10 favourite for Sean Terry and Samanga Kumalo. The second choice in the market is number 6, Hawkbill. Lucky Udalakis and Muzi Yeni team up 5 to 1. On the Friday, the 4 Fire and Flames 13 to 2. And number 1, Union Square. We've heard Mike de Kock or the comment saying this is still part of his campaign. It's a bit short, but he's well. It's a decent horse and he could well run in the money. Union Square. Watch out for him because obviously his mission coming up will be the Betway Summer Cup. And don't forget about Home of the Brave, who's priced up at 10 to 1. All right, Daryl, over to you. Plated race again. Do you want to break it down for us?
Best weighted, Union Square.
All right.
Net 110 ahead of Rule by Force. Excuse me, Clyde. Once again, I'm battling.
Don't worry. Yep.
Bear with me. Union Square Still win the steals. Part of his prep. Distance too short for him. Wes Mowing has his first ride for Mr. De Kock. I don't know if it's this season or ever. Do you know?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, part of his prep, Clyde. I don't see him winning this event. Rule by Force, the second best in. Also a prep run. He'll be doing his best work late. I can't see him winning. 16 to 10, you say? Tail of the Comet.
Yes.
16 to 10.
Yes. 16 to 10. Beats
I
ready to
can't-
charge by
I
a half a
can't
length, and that
believe
came out in
that
one.
price. This,
Really?
Clyde, have you seen this horse? This is a bull of a horse.
I haven't
eh?
seen him, no.
You know, before he made his debut, apparently this was the horse that could give Lucky Lad something to think about back home. And he came to the track with a huge reputation. I don't know if you saw his debut win, but it was sensational.
Yeah, that was good.
He was backed up a week later in a race
At Gravel.
behind, who was it? Outlaw King, right? Clyde, now you touched on who came out and won over there. Ready to charge. He won over a distance short of his best. That form line's been frank. But now listen to this, Clyde. Listen to this. On that day, there was one other race over 13, sorry, that was over what? 1200.
Yep.
1200. I don't know what I'm thinking.
You're saying
There was
times.
one
You're busy with
other
times
race.
now.
There was one other race over the 1200, over the course and distance. You know what it was? The Grade 1 Mercury Sprint.
Sure. And
And listen to this now. So, Tail of the Comet would have finished a length and 0.47, so
Length and a half.
1.47 behind Isi Vungu Vungu.
sure. On the time 70:28.
And
Very interesting.
we've seen the form line being franked. He would have beaten Seeking the Stars
Yeah.
by a length and a half. Seeking the Stars is a high-class individual.
Sure.
He would have beaten Callum Moretta on that day, who won the Debutante, by 11 lengths.
Right.
So I think, although this isn't his target, I think from a one draw, he's got a lot in his favor, and certainly the horse to beat. I think he'll shorten
Yeah, remarkable.
drastically in the market.
Okay.
Hawkbill, I'm not too sure if he's an inside track horse, Clyde.
A lot of winners from the Golden
Takes
Horse.
it, yes, but I don't think he's suited to the inside track.
Okay.
He's been fitted with blinkers. I think he just takes time to unwind. You know, I'm expecting major improvement from, and I know he's held by Fire and Flames. Number 11, Real Relief. He's having his first start as a gelding. Last time out from a tricky draw, he was never in contention, Clyde. He has a horse that could be well a bit ahead of his current rating.
Yeah.
So if you aren't willing to bank a Tail of the Comet like I am, back him up with a roughie in number 11, Real Relief.
Very interesting. He hasn't run for a while, Real Relief. He's been off, I think, since June or whatever the case may be. Fire and Flames. Also, that form line is deadly, so watch out for that. But it's all Tail of the Comet in as far as Daryl Marie's concerned. Should have won that last start with all due respect, or despite the time being fast. Came from last, too far back. Now, what have we got? A jackpot worked out. Daryl's second jackpot, perhaps. Banker 5 here by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By Banker 8 by 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8. Race number 7 is the Betway Money Back Boost Middle Stakes. It's over 1,200 metres. The market indicated on the Friday that number 5, back in business for Joey Soma and Samanga Kumalo, top of the boards. They're 14 to 10. They've been in very good form and they do look to win. 1, Ozon Kerr, the second choice at 4 to 1. Number 5, Tar Bomber, is the third choice at 9 to 2. And then you've got another one in there, number 2, Texas Red, is quoted at 5 to 1. 6, Good Queen Bess, the Mike de Kock stable, priced up 15 to 2. We've heard from them in terms of the quote around the information from the stable, and very happy with her. Should be all over them at the finish is the comment, Daryl. But I thought maybe back in business hard to beat. Have you gone runners here? How many have you gone?
Clyde, what's your opinion on the Soma yard? I mean,
Well, I thought Brave Viking ran a cracker the other day,
yes.
which we weren't sure, and I think that's an indication that they'll be in good form. I think that horse Brave Viking runs again next week, so watch out for that. But back in business, I think
he's
he's
a
above
serious
average.
horse, Clyde. He's a
above
serious
average. When we
horse.
went on our team shop, we went to the yard, remember, to see some of the horses, and he was one of them that all of our people got involved in, and patted and all that, but he's a lovely horse. So, yeah, don't you like him?
No, I like him. I don't like the fact that he's on the inside track.
Okay.
And I don't like the fact that the stable's
Relatively quiet.
quiet because they've had a minimal amount of runners.
Yeah, they've had
so
no
that's
runners.
understandable. But Clyde, the stable in a month's time is going to be on fire. They're just warming up now. They're just warming up. So he has a high-class individual. I think he's a lovely sort in the making. Would I be surprised to see him win in his comeback effort? No. I just think he's a bit short in the market. I think the fact that he's coming back after a rest, he won't be 100% tuned for this race. And the inside track is a big concern for me. Clyde, let's touch on the best weighted. That's Good Queen Best. Now, you heard from the stable, they're expecting her to be flying at the finish and all over them. She's been backed up fairly soon, 2 weeks after her comeback start. She caught the eye in the latter stages on that occasion. She's best weighted over here, and the stable are upbeat. I mean, the stable are really bullish in having a big day. So I think you certainly have to include her. Okay. Currently at 15-2, I think she represents some nice value. Ozenker, now last time out, he didn't come out the best, but I like the fact that he was staying on in the latter stages. That just shows that he doesn't have to be in front to be effective. Yazor said it's very fit. He gets the course and distance. I think the race lies between numbers 1, 5, and 6. I'm hoping Back in Business can make a winning return, because you want to see good horses
win.
Correct. Let's see how he goes, Clyde. Let's see how he goes on this inside track.
Okay. Well, let's hopefully we'll find out before about the well-being, and we can get some sort of update, and then you guys know what to do. Does appear to be the horse to beat, although Daryl thought 14-10 is a bit short, so hopefully there'll be some 2-1 available about Back in Business. But a value and fancied. Let's see. Here's the selections for race number 7. It's a pick 3, 1, 5, and 6. Ozenker, Back in Business, Good Queen Best. Then banker 8 in the next race on the card. Now pick 3, and the 8 horse being Try Quat, and then 1 and 8 at the back. Welcome back to our Betway Get Way More Pinnacle Stakes. That's important. Daryl will give us an update as to the best horses in and all that sort of stuff. From a market perspective, the 8th race on the card, let me tell you what the boys have been thinking. Number 8, Try Quat, is priced up 5-2, and number 2, Duke of Sussex, is 7-2. 1, Porto Manzano, is 4-1. It's an interesting race. Some may say it's a decent sort of field and quality in the race, but this Try Quat does seem to be on the up. Mike de Kock has already been quoted, hasn't he? I mean, do you want to touch on what he said?
Yeah, Clyde, he's very keen to see how this horse goes. He said he's thrown him into the deep end. He knows he's out at the weights. But if he happens to win, he can only get a £6 penalty, because that's the maximum penalty for a pinnacle race.
Yeah, correct.
If he runs a place, he doesn't get a penalty. But if he wins, and he wins convincingly, they can ask for the the gross rating or the full penalty, and then you could see this horse actually contest the Betway Summer Cup.
Yeah.
So
I think he will anyway, to be honest. But let's see.
I think the connections are really keen to see him win, because he has a horse that I don't think has improved. Well, I don't think there's a horse in the country that's improved as much as he has. Yeah. He's in a really good space currently. 50 kilograms to shoulder, super fit. Mr. de Kock said he's of no doubt he's much, much better than his current rating of 87.
Yeah.
So I've taken my chances, Clyde. I know he's badly out at the weights, but on what I've seen, I think he's got a chance to make it 4 in a row.
A horse like Porto Manzano not skewed the whole, if Porto Manzano was out of here, for example, and you were up against a Duke of Sussex who's a 103.
Yeah, obviously.
And it's a different circumstance altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, Porto Manzano, Clyde.
And will he need it, Porto Manzano, is the question.
He's got a bigger fish to fry. I mean, let's be honest. I know he's won on the inside track, but he's returning from a layoff, carrying 62. I don't think he's going to get a vigorous ride. I think they just want him to enjoy his comeback efforts, and they've got something in mind for him. Duke of Sussex, I know he's in good form. I just think he's a Vaal specialist, so I'm willing to pass him by. Flashy Apache, I think he's better on a sticky track or a wet track. River Romeo, he has a horse that could represent some value, but I watched his later start, Clyde. He was in a perfect position. He just had nothing to come in the straight, so it's hard to see him improve a week later. Zeus, better over further. Am I right?
Yeah, and represents like opera glass. I don't.
Not good enough. Top Cell, if you like him, you have to like Flashy Apache and Duke of Sussex.
No.
And Twin Turbo's exposed.
Okay.
So, what's it?
I think you're on the right horse.
Based on
Process of elimination.
process of elimination. There we go. Thank you.
Okay.
Quat.
Tra, quat.
From
I thought it was quatre, but it's not. Okay. Let's have a look at what we're doing in this last double. Is it? No, it's straight up Mike de Cock's horse, quat. We're going with that. What price did I say it was? It's actually well priced, wasn't it? It was 5-2. Ninth race on the card is the next Turpentine race. Meetings on Tuesday, the 26th of September. Make a note of that. And it's over 1,800 meters, this event on the card. The ninth and final. The market's got 11-10 about number one, Total Surrender. Daryl, I want to ask you about this horse. Has been in good form. Seems to be, have come well, a good mover. We did rate this horse from the jump. I think we always said this is going to be a nice horse. I want to just understand the quality of what he takes on here. The depth of the field and the ability.
I don't think it's of much quality, Clyde, but there's several that have got weight reversals in their favour. But firstly, let's touch on Craig Zaki. How do you think his mood is? Because he had to go down to Cape Town to ride for his sponsor.
And they've moved the meeting.
And they moved the meeting.
Okay.
So he certainly has lost out on the ride just based on that, because he had to go and ride for the Kaya stables at Durbanville. But Samanga gets the opportunity now. Last time out he was returning from a layoff, Clyde, he was above himself, and in running he was actually doing a bit too much. Craig was very impressed that he still managed to finish that race off. Despite the turnaround in weights with You Can't Hurry Love, I expect him to confirm that form. It's 1.5 kilos for 3/4 of a length, which should certainly give You Can't Hurry Love a chance. But I think Total Surrender did things wrong last time out, and I'm expecting him to confirm that form. But just go back to the run behind Over to You, Clyde. That was on the 6th of June. Look who was in that race. Nothing else matters. Now, Total Surrender, yes, he was only having his, third start. And he raced wide. But nothing else matters. Was beaten a short head by Total Surrender. Yeah. And he's 6 kilograms better off for a short head beating. In saying that, nothing else matters, has disappointed since, and Total Surrender's progressed. Yeah. So would I be surprised to see him confirm that form despite the 6 kg swing? No, I wouldn't. So I think 1 and 8 to dominate of year, but health respects for You Can't Hurry Love, American Star, who has his first run as a gelding, and Latuli for trifectas and quartets.
Has this also got cheek pieces or whatever on? The one you're talking about now, of Crawford's horse? Yeah. They had on last time I see.
Yeah.
First time in a while, and I wonder if that made any difference to the disappointing run that you're referring to.
No, they stay on.
Do they stay on?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to stick with Total Surrender based on your analysis. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'll go for the 8 then. Thank you.
Okay, you'll go for the 8. I'll go with 1 Total Surrender. That's the plan. Well, you've got lots of value there. Nothing else matters. At 10-1, Total Surrender is priced up at 11-10. That's all from Betway Weighted to Win. Thank you so much. We're going to have a look at our selections for the last race today, where Daryl's recommending some trifectas, and we're boxing 1, 2, 6, 7, and 8.